Welcome back to EcoCrop Chronicles, where we transform small spaces into powerful green sanctuaries. Today, we're tackling something that every urban gardener is facing right now: how to keep your balcony garden thriving when the weather seems to have gone completely unpredictable. If you've watched your carefully tended plants wilt in unexpected heat waves, seen your containers blown over by surprise windstorms, or mourned frost-damaged seedlings that shouldn't have been touched by cold yet, this guide is for you. We're moving beyond pretty planters and diving deep into creating a balcony garden that doesn't just look good but actually produces food and withstands whatever climate chaos comes your way. The truth we all need to face is that our balconies can no longer be just decorative spaces with a few tomato plants thrown in as an afterthought. Extreme weather events are increasing in frequency and intensity, and your balcony garden needs to evolve from a hobby into a legitimate food production system that can handle whatever nature throws at it. This isn't about fear-mongering, it's about practical adaptation. When grocery stores face supply chain disruptions or prices spike due to crop failures in major agricultural regions, that little balcony of yours suddenly becomes incredibly valuable real estate. The shift in mindset here is crucial. You're not just growing a few herbs to garnish your dinner anymore. You're building a resilient food production system that can provide consistent yields even when conditions get tough. Think of your balcony as a miniature farm that needs to be engineered for survival first and aesthetics second. A truly resilient balcony garden features deeply rooted perennials that can survive without you for a week, containers that won't become missiles in high winds, and plants chosen specifically because they laugh in the face of temperature swings that would kill conventional garden varieties. Let's talk about the real champions of extreme weather gardening. When temperatures soar and water becomes scarce, you need plants that were basically born in harsh conditions. Mediterranean herbs like rosemary, thyme, oregano, and sage aren't just aromatic additions. They're drought-surviving warriors with deep roots and waxy leaves that minimize water loss. These plants evolved in regions where summer means baking heat and virtually no rainfall, so your balcony heat wave is just another Tuesday for them. Purslane is another absolute hero that most people dismiss as a weed, but this succulent green is packed with omega-3 fatty acids and thrives in conditions that would stress out lettuce beyond recognition. For edible production in hot conditions, consider Malabar spinach, a vining plant that actually grows better in heat than traditional spinach ever could. Armenian cucumber, despite its name, is technically a melon that produces prolifically in hot weather, and can handle irregular watering far better than standard cucumbers. Cherry tomatoes, particularly varieties like Sungold or any wild-type selections, develop deep root systems and continue producing even when larger tomato varieties give up entirely. When wind becomes your enemy, you need to think low and flexible rather than tall and rigid. Sprawling plants like sweet potatoes create dense mats of foliage that hug container surfaces and won't snap in gusts. Compact bush beans stay close to the soil and bend rather than break. Strawberries and hanging baskets actually benefit from wind movement, which increases air circulation and reduces fungal diseases. The key is understanding that wind resistance isn't about being strong, it's about being flexible and staying low to avoid catching the full force of the blow. For unexpected cold snaps that seem to arrive earlier each fall and linger later each spring, you need plants with genuine cold tolerance built into their genetics. Kale, collards, and other brassicas actually taste sweeter after a frost because cold temperatures trigger sugar production as an anti-freeze mechanism. Mache, also called corn salad, is a delicate-looking green that survives temperatures well below freezing and provides fresh salad greens when everything else has succumbed. Certain Asian greens, like mizuna and tatsoi, laugh at light frosts and keep producing. Garlic planted in fall establishes roots through winter and gives you both green shoots for cooking and full bulbs by summer, making it a true set-it-and-forget-it crop for balcony gardeners. Here's where we get into the engineering that separates a successful extreme weather garden from one that becomes a disaster during the first major storm. Weight is your friend when it comes to wind resistance. Those lightweight plastic pots might seem convenient, but they become dangerous projectiles in high winds. Instead, use heavy ceramic or concrete containers, and don't be shy about adding rocks or bricks to the bottom of lighter pots before filling them with soil. For larger containers, consider drilling drainage holes in sturdy 5-gallon buckets and anchoring them to railings with strong zip ties or even small bungee cords. The goal is to make your containers so secure that they'd need hurricane-force winds to move them. Self-watering containers are absolute game changers for dealing with both drought conditions and the reality that you can't always be home to water during heat waves. These systems work through capillary action, with a reservoir at the bottom of the container that wicks water up into the soil as plants need it. You can buy ready-made self-watering planters, but it's surprisingly easy to create your own using 2 containers of different sizes. Place the smaller container upside down in the larger one to create a reservoir space. Add a wicking material like fabric or rope from the water reservoir up into the soil zone, and you've got a system that can keep plants hydrated for days or even weeks depending on the reservoir size. Vertical growing isn't just about maximizing space anymore. It's about creating storm-resistant systems that use walls for protection, rather than fighting against wind in open space. Sturdy wall-mounted planters that sit flat against your balcony wall create microclimates, where plants are shielded from the harshest wind and sun. Pocket planters made from thick felt or other durable materials can be secured directly to walls and filled with shallow-rooted crops like lettuce, herbs, and strawberries. The key is using mounting hardware that's rated for outdoor use and actually anchored into wall studs or concrete, not just hung on flimsy hooks. Water is becoming the most precious resource in any garden, and, on a balcony, you don't have the luxury of in-ground moisture reserves to tap into. Rainwater harvesting on a balcony might seem complicated, but it's actually quite straightforward. Start by placing a large plastic storage bin or a food-grade barrel under your balcony's drainage points. Even in areas without significant rainfall, the water that runs off your balcony floor during storms represents gallons of free irrigation water. Add a mesh screen over the top to keep out debris and mosquitoes, and you've got a reservoir that can carry you through dry spells. For balconies without obvious drainage points, simply placing wide, shallow containers out during rain events can capture surprising amounts of water. Knowing when to water is just as important as having water available. Soil moisture meters are inexpensive tools that take the guesswork out of watering by telling you exactly what's happening in the root zone. Stick one in your largest container and check it daily. You'll quickly learn the patterns of how fast your specific setup dries out under different weather conditions. This prevents both underwatering during heat waves and overwatering during cooler, humid periods when plants need less frequent irrigation. Your finger pushed into the soil works too, but meters give you data on moisture levels deeper in the container where roots actually live. Building resilient soil means creating a living ecosystem in your containers that can buffer against stress. Start with a high-quality potting mix that includes compost, but then take it further by adding worm castings, which provide slow-release nutrients and beneficial microbes. Mixing in biochar, a form of charcoal that holds moisture and nutrients like a sponge, can increase your soil's water-holding capacity by up to 30%. Top-dress containers with compost every few months, and water it in, well, to continuously feed soil biology. Living soil that's rich in organic matter and microbial life can help plants access nutrients even in stressful conditions and improves overall drought tolerance significantly. So, companion planting becomes even more critical in extreme weather because, well, you're creating plant communities that support each other through stress. Pairing deep-rooted plants with shallow-rooted ones means they're not really competing for water at the same soil level. And, growing nitrogen-fixing plants like beans alongside heavy feeders like tomatoes means the whole system becomes more self-sufficient when it comes to nutrients. Aromatic herbs planted near vegetables can confuse pests, and even provide some shade for heat-sensitive crops during the hottest parts of the day. Just think of your containers as these miniature ecosystems, where every plant plays a role in supporting the others. Pest control in a changing climate means being proactive rather than reactive. Warmer winters mean pest populations that used to die off in cold weather are now surviving and building up to higher numbers. Encourage beneficial insects by including flowers in your edible containers. Alyssum, calendula, and nasturtiums all attract predatory insects that feed on aphids and other pests while being edible themselves. Neem oil spray applied preventatively every 2 weeks can stop pest outbreaks before they start. Row cover fabric draped over containers protects against both pests and unexpected frosts, giving you a simple physical barrier that works without chemicals. The real payoff of building a resilient balcony garden goes far beyond just getting vegetables. You're creating a buffer against food insecurity, reducing your environmental footprint by growing food where you live, and building genuine skills that matter in an uncertain world. When your neighbors are complaining about wilted grocery store lettuce and skyrocketing prices, you'll be harvesting fresh greens from your balcony. You'll have the satisfaction of knowing that your little space is producing real food through conditions that are challenging even commercial farms. And perhaps most importantly, you're contributing to urban biodiversity and food resilience in your community, showing others what's possible in small spaces. Building a truly resilient balcony garden isn't about perfection, it's about consistent adaptation and learning from each season. Every heatwave teaches you which plants truly handle stress and which ones need more protection. Every windstorm shows you which containers need better anchoring. Every unexpected frost reveals which varieties have the cold tolerance you need. Take notes, adjust your strategies, and remember that you're building a system that gets stronger and more productive over time, as your soil improves and your skills deepen. If you found this guide valuable and want to see more content on creating resilient urban food systems, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss our uploads. Share this video with friends and family who are interested in growing their own food, because the more people building resilient gardens, the stronger our communities become. Drop a comment below telling us what extreme weather challenges your balcony faces and what solutions you found that work. Let's build this knowledge together and create a community of urban growers who are ready for whatever comes next. Until next time, keep growing, keep adapting, and keep building that green, resilient future right on your balcony.